they're extremely sound fundamentally, which we all know. But and I said this, I think, in our radio broadcast. I just think they have more depth and are more versatile maybe than any team that I can remember that Tony's had. They just have a lot of different ways and personnel that they can beat you. They obviously can go small with the little guard, move Hunter to the 4. Now they got Jerome and Guy coming off more screens. They can play big with Diakite and Salt. And then they go to the well and bring out Jay Huff, a kid that we recruited. And he changes the game because he's a 5-man that's making threes. Thought our guys really, really competed. Just super proud of the way our team hung in there and fought. One of the hardest things to do in basketball is to compete every possession defensively against a team like Virginia, especially, who's putting you through the grinder on screening action when you're not scoring. When you don't make baskets, you don't get energy. It's almost sometimes can be demoralizing when you're missing layups and free throws, and to have to go back and then continue to fight defensively, I think really speaks to the character of our guys and a much better effort. Our last 2 games defensively, we've played really, really hard and very well. We obviously cut it to 2, had a chance despite our shooting woes, and then unfortunately we just never made any. And eventually you got to make shots, and we didn't do that tonight.
Coach, you had a 3-game losing streak at the end of last season, I think, when Shelton got hurt. You turned that around with a home win over Georgia Tech and won 5 out of your next 7. You think you could really do that with a home game against Georgia Tech?
I don't really worry about what happened last year, and obviously the good. There's a ton of good. There's some bad in every season. It's a long, hard year in ACC, and you're going to go through stretches where you play great teams, and you try to just keep the morale of your team up and your spirit and keep guys fighting. And we were very well prepared. We had a very good plan that gave us a great opportunity. I thought we stopped them out of some things that they really like to do offensively. But offensively, we actually played well offensively in a lot of ways. There aren't many teams that'll shoot more free throws than Virginia. We did. We only had 7 turnovers today. But you do have to finish plays, and you have to make threes. And, we didn't do that. So we just can't get discouraged by a lack of finishing. And we have to be encouraged by our effort, our togetherness, and our competitive fight in today's game against a great opponent.
You mentioned Frederick too. Did you feel like you guys were right there?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, and then obviously our best player, who's a 90% career free throw shooter, missed 3 free throws, and he missed that one. It was almost telling that, it spins out on him. And, you have to score, though, to keep the crowd going. And our crowd wanted to help us so much that we had a fantastic turnout. Extremely thankful the way our students were there early. We had, people ready to go. And but it's hard to cheer for defense in basketball. We don't, it's easier when you get a sack in football. Everybody goes crazy. You interception, whatever. Just keep getting stops. People kind of get to the edge of their seat, but then they need a dunk, they need an open 3, they need something to go in to get them to really go, and we could just never get them to do that. And obviously some of that's Virginia. Those guys are outstanding defensively. They don't give you anything easy. They don't turn the ball over, so you get a fast break dunk, and they close very well with great length and great defensive fundamentals to make it hard. But we did have our fair share of open shots, and we had our fair share of layups around the rim. I think somebody said on our staff counted 7 that we missed. We need to make 5 of those. That's 10 points. And now all of a sudden the game is different because there's game pressure, and we just didn't get it done.
You touched on it a little bit, but how happy were you with your shot selection overall?
Pretty happy. It's hard to get good shots against these guys. They, they're number 1 in scoring for a reason. They don't give up easy ones. Everything you have to do, you have to earn. I thought our spacing was good. I thought our ball movement most of the time was reasonably good. They did a good job on Eli, and Eli didn't. We practiced some things, and game slippage. He probably turned a couple over that, we'd love to have back. And again, that's a credit to Virginia. But all in all, I think we're going to go back and look at the tape, and we took 54 shots. I think I'm going to like 40 of them. Maybe even more than that. And we just you have to make plays.
How hard is it on the team when they get some of those offensive rebounds after you guys guard?
Yeah, it is. I think that's where the other thing that is really hard about Virginia is there is a wearing effect when you play them because of the way they play, and you kind of saw the game, like South Carolina game was similar. South Carolina was in the game for a long time, and then there's a wearing effect when you're fighting through all these screens and long possessions. And if you saw what Kyle Guy did in the first half when we relaxed twice, he's got a ball up in the air and it's going through the net. So naturally, when you're not scoring, your energy level, you lose it a little bit, and now a long rebound happens and you're just not quite quick to the ball, and they get it. I know they had one offensive rebound at half, and that was a huge point of emphasis for us. In the second half, they were a little bit quicker, maybe a little fresher, and I think there was a little wearing effect on our team.
He's been playing. Top 5 teams. When you play two of the top 5 teams in the country and the other games on the road at Syracuse, is it important for you to just let your guys know that it's a long ACC season? It's kind of front-loaded with some really good teams, just to make sure that they, realize they're doing a lot of good things despite an 0-3 start.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, the number one thing that you coach with players, I think, is effort. Because that is attitude. If you're not competing, then you have a poor attitude. And that's why I was upset with our team in the second half of the Duke game. I thought we played fine in the first half, but once the avalanche started, we did not regroup, and that was extremely disappointing. Our last 2 outings, so 5 of the last 6 halves, we've played really hard, and we just haven't played well enough to win. And when you play 2 top 5 teams, that's going to happen, and when you play Syracuse at Syracuse, that's going to happen sometimes too. Now that's something you better get figured out, and we're trying to work on it. But we start with our preparation, following our plan, and then our effort to get that done. For the most part, we did some good things today, but now we got to figure out a way to continue that and win a game and execute a little better.
Is a guy like Huff on your, I guess?
Yeah, he's on our report. We knew him. We recruited him. But I think that goes to what I was talking about earlier is their ability to bring a guy like that in. I mean, he's 9th or 10th man on the team. He's a good player, obviously. 11 points in 10 minutes or something. I mean, we knew he could make threes, but, what that did is change the nature of how you're guarding other guys. And, you got to give something up sometimes to stop something else. We did a great job. Kyle Guy, did he not score in the second half? Maybe he didn't score in the second half. But now other guys did. That's why they're good, and because they have a bunch of different guys they can go to that are all good players.
Brad, a little personnel question. Trey Jamison, a little further in the season, how far is he developing?
He's coming. He just missed so much that, I'm calling 3 things out in the last 4 minutes, and he got 2 of them wrong. And shouldn't have been that complicated, but some of it is just anxiousness, and some of it is, the kid missed a lot. And so now he's kind of, he's playing catch up. But he is physical. He's big and strong. He's a live body. I think he has a good future for us. Everybody good?
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you all.